Hello, dear comrades of the True Rus. Today is the 24th film by my book ABC of Truth, The Construction of the Culture of Rus in the Different Cities of the World. The ideology and teaching of the ABC of Truth in the near future will free man from obscurantism and stupidity throughout the whole earth. In order not to be an outcast in a sober, real world, a person will have to study astrophysics and other sciences. Technically illiterate humanitarian historians and alternative specialists will be a thing of the past and be replaced by people who, by their virtual mental abilities, will be able to tell the truth, without blaming everything on gods and non-existent theoretical fabrications. In my book, I have repeatedly proved that the whole culture was ruled by the culture of Rus. I spoke about the nobility of this culture, its physically atheistic sense. Using the example of saving stars of fortresses, I have explained the essence and the mission of Rus. Using the example of the method of burial of ashes under the spacer gravestone, supposedly with thymus crosses depicting the symbols of samsara, I told you that it was the people of Rus who were buried at all the objects of the world that have been stolen by the newly formed religious sects and orders. You already know about the true essence of the true Christian, astrophysical, atheistic, orthodox faith, and you know how to use the technical knowledge destroyed by the Holy Inquisition. For example, the Apostle Andrew's ghost, knowing how to determine coordinates from the 13 real ecliptic constellations, when between Glutter there are 66.6 degrees. Let us now pay attention to the fact that it was the Rus culture that built all the significant cities of the world where there are religious objects based on the knowledge of the real astrophysical calendar of the sunrise. I have told you that the sun rises in different places and the altar was intended for notching the sunrise points on the horizon. This altar can be spread to the entire city and built objects so that the residents of the city would not have to have a smartphone in order to find out the physical date and plan their everyday issues, or maybe open navigation, plow, sow, harvest, transport something, close navigation, celebrate New Year within the movement of the sun. After one of my readers, having checked my astrophysical knowledge on the location, showed me the SunCalc program, which does not even need to be installed. You can check any object on the location along with the lines of sunrise and sunset. After that, I have repeatedly appealed to you to check all the objects of the old cities that interest you. To all the alternative specialists, I have sent my book, and I told them about this program. In today's video, I won't tell you anything new. I will show you the thing you would not like to do. You already know about the physical phenomena of the visual calendar of St. Peter's. Let's take a few celebration dates of St. Peter's and go through the locations of such cities as Rome in Italy, Athens in Greece, and Jerusalem in Israel. You don't need to install the program SunCalc. Just put in the search line SunCalc and go there. Put the cursor of the mouse to the object that interests you and put the date in. On the example of St. Peter's, I show you March the 1st, the beginning of the man's summer. The sun rises in the bosom of Nevsky Prospect. March the 20th, Pascha, the day of the vernal equinox, where a bunch of objects are directed strictly to the east. April the 18th, the first day of Aries, the ascension start, sunrise at the foot of the statue, apex of the Indian pillar, the angel of Aurora, watching from the Admiralty, and 3 days later, the ascension, the sun in the face of an angel, on whose forehead a ram, or Aries, was wiped. I pronounce this phrase this way, like April the 18th, the first day of Aries, where on whose forehead Aries was wiped. And people ask me why the Aries was on the forehead of angel. So, sorry, dear viewers, I told you it was the first day of Aries. It is 1,000 times proves that a Kula Ra of 1,000 constellation is ours, not us. Moreover, Chinese constellations do not correspond to our constellations with our space calendar. December the 24th, Christmas. The sun, through the gates of the St. Joseph's Cathedral, stands in front of the Copper Horseman, as well as the sunrise in the bosom of Gorokhovaya Street. People often ask me why in 3 days it's on the 5th day. In fact, so draw the lines, stand on the line 18 and jump over the 3 lines. And you will find yourself on the 22nd line. In the same way, while working in this program, you can find all the old objects of the old cities. Take and use. I will show you the objects I've checked in this program Sankalk. Let's start. In Rome, in Italy, the Sankalk showed me the following data. March the 1st, from the fountain of the Eagle in the bosom of the Via del Aquilon viaduct, through the fountain of the Pantheon of the Basilica of Neptune to the church of San Ignazio. Pay attention to the names read by Russian later. See for yourself. March the 20th, St. Peter's Basilica, through the Vatican obelisk. The bosom of the Via della Conciliazione viaduct, and all the objects directed strictly to the east. April the 18th, the beginning of the Ascension, sunrise at the foot of the statue of the column of Marcus Aurelius, which was observed from the church of San Luigi dei Francesi. On the line is the church of St. Mary Magdalene. The half of the old town, I mean its northern part, stands in this direction, led by the Via Colla di Rienzo viaduct, which rests against the column of square Piazza del Popolo. The same way, 3 days later, Ascension, the sun is in the face of Marcus Aurelius, and there is a column of Piazza del Popolo that is lit. In St. Peter's Square, I show you the day of minimum solstice and the day of maximum solstice. December the 24th, the shadow of the Vatican obelisk, Christmas, in the bronze gate of St. Peter's Square. Vot и Khan. There are showing names, Russian. This is a square where they still didn't get the stakes from. The square Kulishki pagan temple shows to the events of the calendar events. At the same time, sunrise and sunset are limited to the semicircular buildings of the square. An interesting object is the Church of the Holy Angel in the Star Fortress, which I wrote about earlier and made a film about earlier. The religion of the Vatican is broken, crushed, and drowned in its lies. Athens in Greece, March the 1st, the beginning of the man's summer. Prospect Yermo, Orthodox Church of the Virgin Kapinkaria, Constitution Square of the Greek Parliament. The revealing ray through the lumen of the Yermo ran into the Parliament's building, built with the weeping wall function in Jerusalem, so that people won't see anything. Yermo in various languages, the first beauty, beautiful life. Yes, the temple of Poseidon in the southern Greece is also on this line of sunrise. March the 20th, Athens Central Observatory, along the south stables of the Agora, the Church of the Holy Apostles, and many other objects directly restricted to the east. April the 18th, the beginning of the Ascension, Temple of Rome and August, Propelli, Temple of Nike, Parthenon of the Athens Acropolis, and a column with a statue of a goddess Athena. The Parthenon needed to be restored with the through walls. The visual ascension of the face of the sun by the goddess Athena works with the end-to-end viewing. Another weeping wall. December the 24th, Christmas, St. Paul's Anglican Church, street past Zapion, sunrise in the bosom of Vasilis Olga Prospect. And here you have all the Russian Orthodox. Jerusalem in Israel. It's very interesting here. Everything goes from one place. March the 1st, the beginning of the man's summer. Observation from the temple square with the foundation stone, which has been laid by the weeping wall in the direction of the object, which had been built before the 7 Arcs Hotel on the Mount of Olives. March the 20th. I will not list anything here. There are a lot of objects directed strictly to the east. See for yourself. April the 18th, the beginning of the Ascension. Observation from the temple square with the foundation stone, which is laid by the weeping wall in the direction of candles. I have already written about this, a whole section, and I made a separate film about it. The 24th of December, Christmas. Observation from the temple square with the foundation stone, which is laid by the weeping wall in the direction of a large, supposedly Jewish cemetery. As you know, the sunrise point moves to the right side of the minimum solstice day and moves to the left side after the minimum solstice day. So, the border of the cemetery is the point of sunrise on the day of the minimum solstice. Further, where the sun no longer rises, the residential quarter of the city starts. All the graves of the cemetery were Russian graves. Look at the tombs of Dominus Flevit, where the ashes of Jesus is laid, and compare it to the Russian Spizera. I made a film about it earlier. You can read about the Helion mountain by yourself, and you will get the physical essence about it and the physical substitution of physical notions by the religions. I repeat, in today's story, I didn't tell you anything new. I have given you the information about the Sankalk program, and I give you the materials to research. For example, as an example, I give you only 4 days, but there are a lot of them. Draw parallels with the dates of my calendar and the dates of St. Petersburg in other cities of the world. Discover new ones. There are a lot of cities, our own cities in Russia and the rest of the world. I have long ago sent my book to the alternative historians about the necessity of the learning astrophysics so that their learning would not be in vain. But these guys do not like to learn astrophysics. I don't understand the essence of their movies. Use the transport, shoot the object, read the Wikipedia, put the official information under the question and do not give the answers. So where are the answers? The only thing that alternative historians got from my book was that the Romanovs baptized the church. Oh, thank you. Your desire to earn money is higher than the notion of the honor and the consciousness. Soon, my book, ABC of Truth, will conquer all the world, and I think you will feel shame. Now, I would like to express my gratitude to all people that helped me. Knock on all the doors and tell about the things that you saw and watched. Due to the indifferent people who do not want to help for anything, we lost the truth. Our own compassion will save the truth. Working by yourself with the cities of the world, you will see for yourself how the information is hidden from us. Everywhere, in the street names, in the presence of photographs on the internet and the prohibition of shooting objects, and even in the translators. You will see for yourself when, by whom, where, and why the Slavic Greek Latin academies were opened. But most important, you will understand that the Greek and Latin languages came from the Russian language. And more important, you can restore the original Russian language by returning to its place all the vowels and consonants, returning the true meaning of the words. So, for example, between Yermo and Yermolai, there is a huge abyss. What is the connection between Saloniki streets, colonies, colony, Catholic, Catalan, and Colosseum? You will understand that from the meeting of the sunrise on the temple square with the foundation stone, the Muslims took the tradition of going to sermons with rocks. You'll draw the parallels. Temple of Hephaestus, February, February, Agora, A, mountain, Gora, Russian. Full or whole, also Russian word. All the new finds have no end to research. In fact, there is a lot of information going around. Explore it for yourself. Now you have a motion vector. Honor, dignity, reason, and intelligence. Nobody but us. May all the gratitude come to your family.